Weekend Craic.
Your Weekend Craic starts here.
Sponge. Oh, wow. I killed the music, man.
Yeah, you killed it.
I pushed the wrong
Get
button.
some more sound effects.
Gee. So, how many times have we done this episode?
Ah, jeez, dude.
Someday he's gonna get his fingers right.
Yeah, that's what all the girls say. Right. What's happening, boys? How's the week been?
Yeah.
I think everyone's in the... I don't know what mode are we in now. I don't know. It's like I was working out 6 months. I haven't been into the office. Been working from home for 6 months. Yeah, it's just become the new normal, I suppose.
Well, yeah.
Just give it...
I don't like to dwell on it. It's just...
Well, that's right. It's so difficult not to,
Groundhog
because
Day,
it's
man.
like right in your face, isn't it?
I was thinking, because, in the background, I occasionally have those roses, right? If I'm outside, you can see the roses. We've been doing this so long that those roses are
They
dying.
did, yeah.
Yeah. I don't know if that's a metaphor. I don't know.
What were you showing us last week? What plant were we looking at last week? Was it an indoor plant?
God, gee, man, I don't know what happened yesterday.
No, I think that was an outdoor plant. It looked like an outdoor plant.
I don't remember.
Anyway.
I know Leicester's background is generally like roses, like nicely trimmed, looked after roses. It's Leicester's signature.
So now listen, give us a
That's where I go wrong in life.
give us a rating for the week, Lester.
I'm not going to say 5. I'm going to say 6.
6.
Yeah, everyone's on holiday at work. Not everyone, but a lot of people on holiday. So therefore, the workflow has dropped. So I've been a bit more productive this week.
Oh, really? Okay, good stuff.
The weather's been dire. We have some storm that's hit the UK. So our 30-degree temperatures of last week and the week before are now 20.
All right.
And it's overcast and raining. And don't get me wrong, we need the rain. But I still don't have a jumper on.
Oh, nice.
So it's still officially summer here.
Yeah. So what's the temperature there with you guys?
At the moment. Again. So how are you guys rating yourselves this week?
Oh, geez. Okay, Oleg, you go first.
Okay, I'm definitely a 6. Definitely a 6. I think the beginning of the week started really well. Then it just went downhill.
So you started at a 9 and ended at a 6.
I started like at a solid 9. I was pumped.
7:30 on Monday, I was a 9.
I was so pumped. I was like, I had the plan for the week worked out, and then it's just
didn't work out.
Yeah.
So, so did you go for a hike last Sunday, Oleg?
Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm going this Sunday as well.
Okay, cool. Is that why you were rocking a 9 on Monday morning?
Yeah. I think that was really good. I slept well, came back, rested well, didn't have a late night, didn't watch stuff, just basically went to sleep. Just worked out what I need to do for the next week. Monday morning I woke up, I hit everything quite hard in terms of work-related tasks and everything that I had to do around. Tuesday, kept the momentum going, and then from Wednesday things started sliding.
Oh, shit. Yeah, so... Well, I had wanted to join you on Sunday for the hike, but you gave me some advice last week. Was I should just take Saturday off and then, just chill, which I did.
Did you?
I did. So Sunday was.
And then work Sunday.
Yeah, so Sunday. So my week actually started on Sunday. It didn't start on Monday. So if I was to give my week a rating, I'm also going to go for a 6 because. Yeah, it's been a busy week, but it's been a good, productive week. Good things have happened. But fucking tired, dude, is the only way to put it.
Holidays are required.
Holidays are required, man. I think it's time to take leave again, to be honest.
I'm thinking like end of September.
Yeah.
My diving school is going on. What's his name? Oh, Bixby just came on. Like, what's going on?
Bixby. Yeah, geez, my Bixby's been doing that this week as well, dude.
Bixby is just like all of a sudden just switches on. It's like, I'm listening. I'm like, that is really good.
So,
what is Bixby?
you iPhone. So it's like Samsung Siri.
It's like Samsung Siri.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like, what is the craziest, and fuck, Oleg, don't do it now. What's the craziest thing that you've got Siri to say for you? Or definition that you've...
I can, like, I know quite a few.
Yes.
Like, remember we were playing around with your phone.
Yes, thank you very much. In the office, not safe for work,
Not just in the office, in the canteen.
Yes, in the canteen. Naughty boy. Anyway.
Let's see what I did. And don't try this on air. What is Welsh for 100?
Oh, really?
You can look at that one later.
Okay. What, you mean we really can't do it live? Hey? Am I going to get into trouble if I do it?
I think you would.
Okay.
I think you would.
Okay, I'll take Leicester's. It looks like Leicester's stuck again.
Yeah, Leicester's stuck, well, but this is like a really cool photo.
Anyway, talking about Bixby, I've recently upgraded my phone.
In terms of what? Like just the software, or you
No,
got a new phone?
I got a new phone.
What did you get?
I got the S20 Plus, not the Ultra.
No way.
But the S20
no way.
Plus,
Can you show us? Can you show us this technology?
It looks like the S Plus, the S9 Plus. It doesn't look very much different. The only thing is, it's got 4 cameras at the back.
Wow, that looks amazing, man.
But so all of a sudden this week, well, now that I've got the new phone, Bixby has been doing some really, really funny stuff. On my S9 Plus, I could hardly ever get Bixby to fire up, even if I was shouting at her. Like now, I don't even have to say her name, and she appears randomly and says, "Hey, what's happening? How can I help you?" Yeah. I mean, let's see. If I go say, "Hey, Bixby, what time is it?"
It's 10:10.
10:10. Okay, good stuff. Yeah, so I mean, we had this conversation quite a long time ago, Oleg, about why is the Google Assistant so much better than Bixby in terms of understanding the South African accent? And now Google's now
Hey, Google.
now
Hey, Google.
the widget.
Hey, Google.
Yeah, no, it's not going to work. My phone can hear you.
It's not.
Only if I
Okay.
say, "Hey Google," will it wake up. Or not.
Ask Google what is an angry dragon.
No, I'm not doing any of your shit, dude. I reckon if anyone had heard what we were doing at the canteen, we probably would have got fired. Anyway, so I don't know. Oleg, have you used Bixby that much, or do you use the
Yes,
Google
I did.
Assistant?
I did. Look, conscientiously, right? I did try to train my Bixby.
And
The problem is I think Bixby's untrainable.
yeah, so much for artificial intelligence.
No, but I think Google AI is pretty good. So
Yeah.
like Google Voice Assistant is rock solid.
But we explained the reason for that, and that's because Google's listening to you all the time, dude. That's why it understands my South African accent.
Yeah, no.
What are you saying? It's adjusted to your accent, so that's done locally.
Well, yeah. So what I'm saying is because like Bixby doesn't understand or doesn't interpret the pronunciation of words in a South African way very well, whereas Google is like spot on. And Oleg and I were having a conversation the one day, probably about a year ago, saying like, okay, but how come Bixby and Google Assistant is so much better than Bixby? And I just made a joke with him, it's because Google's listening to you all the time. And They are, I
Ask
suppose.
Bixby what is a chop?
Hi, Bigsby. What is a chop?
A meat chop is a cut of meat, cut perpendicular to the spine, and usually containing a rib or riblet part of a vertebra and served
Can you hear
as an
it?
individual portion.
Yeah.
Actually,
That's actually pretty good.
Actually, let me
Well, except
connect
she got it
my.
wrong.
I'm just gonna connect my phone via Bluetooth to the desk, and then
No. Don't
you
complicate
sure you
things.
wanna-
You
you
don't want to
test
do
the
that.
Come on, man. That's how we
Like,
call
what
Jerry, man.
performance issues already.
You don't want to do
Okay.
that, man.
I'm gonna ask it what a South African chop is. What do you reckon?
Yeah.
Hey, Bigsby.
Bixby's done for the day, man.
That's it. You've used your quota.
You've used your quota.
Yeah, it's like in-app purchases now. I've got to buy another 5 more requests. $5. Hi, Bigsby. What is a South African chop?
Here's what I found online.
No, it's not even going to read it to me. So it comes an African chop recipe.
Well, you can actually make a chop. Wow, I thought you
I don't
became
know.
a chop.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's something you become. It's not something you can create.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I'm imagining the way the world is going, they're probably going to be producing chops out of a factory very soon. Anyway, so Oleg, tell
That
us,
can
where
be
did you go?
interpreted in many different ways, man.
What, like Android chops and actual lamb chops?
Yeah. And lamb chops.
And
yeah.
lamb chops. Huh? So, dude, where did you go hiking last weekend?
Just went around Joburg, so we didn't go to Pretoria like we
Okay.
did. We're gonna go
You
to
walked
Pretoria.
around Joburg. Wow.
No, we have like some hiking places like Klippriviersberg Nature Reserve.
Sorry, say that again. Klippriviersberg Nature Reserve.
Klippriviersberg.
And Oleg, do you know what that actually means?
What?
What? Klipprivier.
Klippriviers. Yeah.
Do you know
Yeah.
what that actually means?
Like no.
Okay, it's like Stone River.
Stone River.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Okay. Cool.
There's like a tiny stream left, but like yeah, there's some sort of resemblance of a river.
For somebody who's into geology, you should know this stuff.
What? Like I don't know. I don't speak Afrikaans.
But it's local terrain.
I speak English, guys. English and Russian.
And Russian, yeah. So
Yeah.
so when I was working with Peter Balzar, okay, Lester, you don't know Peter Balzar, but Oleg does.
Yeah.
I mean, the first time I introduced Oleg to Peter Balzar, we went for a bike ride, and Oleg still had
remember that
his
bike ride.
Fireblade. Let's just say we had a bit of a slow start that day, because someone's battery on his bike went flat.
Yeah.
I still have photos. Anyway, Peter Balzar is from Slovakia. And what I used to love doing is asking him to translate English words into Slovakian and then, make jokes out of them. Like you could do with Afrikaans. But anyway, I don't know why I told that story. That was so weak. So, like in the team that I'm working with at the moment, it's like every Friday, one of us has to come up with a joke, right? Mm-hmm. So we all take turns. Man, I'll tell you what, I get in, besides going into a cold sweat when I need to think about going to bungee jump, that's another thing that creates cold sweats for me, is having to tell a joke to people. I mean, I'm freaking useless at telling jokes.
I think you're quite a funny guy.
Yeah, okay, maybe I'm a funny guy, but don't put me on the spot.
Being able to tell a joke or a funny story. It's about timing. You got.
Yeah, I know.
It's about delivery as well.
Yeah. So talking about comedy, have you been keeping up with Uncle Roger and his?
You're not going to. Do you know there's a woman equivalent?
Is there?
No.
Yeah.
No, you're
It's
serious.
almost exactly the same format, except it's a woman.
Okay.
And her name, she's Auntie something.
Oh, Auntie Helen.
I don't know. I came across it
On TikTok.
about a week ago, and I forgot about it.
Wait, on TikTok.
Yeah.
Okay.
It was like,
So,
even the little, the quirkiness and the things I despise about Uncle Roger, she does the same thing.
okay. Did you see his
So
one?
what-
Did you see the one where he was ripping off the BBC food woman,
Yeah.
the Indian woman doing her thing about?
Harsha Patel.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Did
So
you
you know they actually had a second episode.
Yeah, that's where I was going. Yeah.
Yeah, no, that was really cool. I watched it as well. It's quite funny.
He reviewed another of her cooking episodes.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Okay, wait.
I want to see her because she would probably go and review his, and we could end up with a battle on our hands. Just a weekly slag off of the other.
Yeah.
Come on, Uncle Roger, cook us a curry. Let me see what you do. That's not how you cook rice.
But did you see at the end when they made the when she was making this curry or whatever, and then like the outtake afterwards was that it tasted horrible.
No, I didn't see that.
Oh, it's crazy. Yeah. Anyway, yeah. So I mean, it's amazing how that guy, what's his name, Nigel. He's actually he's a comedian. I don't know if you've watched some of his stand-up stuff. He's actually pretty good as a comedian. But it's amazing how when he creates this persona, this Uncle Roger, that it seems to take off, you know?
Yeah.
I don't think I'd ever... I was actually thinking the other day, because I watched one of these TED Talks about a guy who said how to be funny. And...
Oh my God, TED. That doesn't work. It doesn't go hand in hand.
Yeah, it was...
and how to... It's like helping geeks to be more approachable.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, so...
If you're going to a braai and with the other chops, this is how you can interact and be sociable.
No, well, that's...
And all the geeks are like, oh yes, I can learn something, and it becomes formulaic.
Yeah. So I think this is why... I think he was trying to hook it up to creativity and, you know, in the business world, he was trying to hook it up. But but like he said that he was never someone that could be funny or, you know, he never thought that he would be able to be the kind of guy that could do stand-up. And he eventually became, you know, he eventually did land up doing some stand-up, which is quite, you know, like he almost, you know, it's like with a lot of these sort of creative skills, like are you born with them, or is it something that you learn through practice or whatever?
I think it's a natural. You are going to be naturally. A lot of the comedians are comedians because they grew up. Either they're in a funny house, so you pick up on those around you, or it's a defense mechanism. Quite often, the comedians were bullied at a young age, and this was their way of deviating and getting away from bullies.
Yeah.
They all have, but you can actually go. I used to work with a really funny guy. He used to crack us up all day. Always had the right words, the right time. Timing was perfect.
Yes.
Always have, you know, and we thought you were a natural comedian because you can deliver a story. Even the most simplest of scenarios, you make it sounds great and you get all our attention and you keep our attention. And he was looking into becoming a comedian. He went off and did some courses on how to write material, what sort of things to look at, how to construct a story.
Yeah.
And I think that actually, I mean, he's still funny, but he came back and went, no, this is kind of not feeling good for me.
Oh.
Yeah, it's kind of almost took him a step back. It's like, yeah. No.
But I mean, is it that like that kind of thing where you play golf socially and you play a decent game and then you say, I'm actually enjoying this. I think I'm going to take up golf. And then you start reading on how to improve your swing and all that. And you go backwards.
Yeah.
I mean, is that kind of situation?
Yeah. It's not fun anymore.
I don't know.
What's your handicap?
It's not fun anymore. Yeah. Lester, what is your handicap?
Getting out of bed.
Shit.
See? Quick delivery. Maybe I should become a comedian. Except that wasn't a good joke.
Oh, well. I still need to...
So Andrew, like the joke that you had to tell on Friday during the meeting, what joke was it?
Okay, how do you put a astronaut's baby to sleep? You rock it. See, I told you.
Okay, your first problem there. I mean, it's a clever joke, but it's your initial delivery. It's very
monotone.
So what about this?
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, you should emphasize those words.
Yeah. So I'm taking
key words that people need to quickly grab on.
I'm taking tips at the moment, so keep them coming. Keep them coming.
Yeah.
So,
you also get to the point where maybe too old to learn this stuff, man.
Yeah, this is like I can't remember what the punchline was.
Old, yeah. By the time you get to the punchline, you've forgotten what story you were telling.
Yeah. Listen, dude, that shirt that you're wearing at the moment, what's the logo on there? Leicester.
Oh.
Is that the Sea Shepherd thing?
No, this is just skull and crossbones, Florida Keys.
Okay.
Pirate ship. Can you read what's on the back?
Not yet.
Can you see that?
Yeah, it says, what does it say?
Too far away?
No.
Drinking will continue until morale improves.
Ah, yes.
There we go.
Yes. So that's a good South African situation at the moment. Level 2. You saw the clip that I sent you, all the kiffness, which I do realize that Oleg wouldn't understand half of what was being said in that song because it was in Afrikaans.
No, but there was an English part to it.
Yeah.
There isn't the national anthem switches from one language to the other.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So, so what does it feel like, Oleg, that you can go and buy cigarettes now? Or have you given up smoking?
I think it's good that they've opened it up, like both with cigarettes and liquor, because like the black market was just ripping the benefits that registered tax-paying companies should have. They should have done it a long time ago.
There was a very high-grade answer.
Yeah. No, but it's like it's seriously, you can see that. So I went to the shop on Thursday afternoon, right, just to get some soup, some bread, stuff for the week.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, I went quite late because I had a pretty busy day, and I went at about 4:30. And
okay.
I didn't realize, or I didn't remember that on Thursday at 5 o'clock all the liquor stores close, and they close basically until Monday.
Yeah,
Then
exactly.
I walk past this bar and I see this humongous queue, like 30 people, and I'm like, what's going on here? Like it doesn't look like the queue to the Pick and Pay or the Woolies. It's like, where are these guys queuing? And I see like everything is closed, and then I realize now they're queuing to the bottle store, which has already closed their doors like half an hour early. So there was a lot of pissed off people.
I'm sure. Yeah.
So hang on, have you changed your lockdown status? You can now buy
Yeah. No, we now officially at level 2.
UK is like 3,000 a day. I don't think that would change the current situation.
Lester, are you still there?
Yeah.
Lester?
I think Leicester's got hung up. I think one of those secret agencies is tapping in again. Or his neighbors realize that it's 10 o'clock.
It's 10 o'clock and it's time to stream Netflix.
Hello, Lester.
So, yeah.
So, dude, I mean, you haven't answered my question. Have you given up smoking, or did you get yourself a pack of cigarettes?
No, I remember, like, I smoke less cigarettes and more hubbly bubbly. So,
yeah,
I still smoke hubbly bubbly.
Okay, cool. And I mean, during lockdown, were you able to get supplies for the hooker? The hooker.
So Fatila bought quite a lot.
Okay.
Sorry, I've just
quite a lot of stock.
Supplies for a hooker?
A hooker.
No. Hubbly bubbly, not like, remember, in South Africa they call it a hooker. Not a hooker. hookah, you know, and in the UK, I think they call it hubbly bubbly. So, yeah.
So this is very interesting. I think
But
Lester's little blip was a Skype issue, because like now my Skype video is gone completely.
Your Skype video.
Yeah, I mean, I lost you guys for about 15 seconds, and my bandwidth's fine.
So
I think it's more application.
I think the Weekend Craic has now become a testing session for Skype's reliability, and they're not doing very well at this point.
Yeah.
Okay, guys, you know what I'm going to do? I don't know if... well, can you still see my video?
Yeah, I can see. Your video is like flawless. Like there's no issues.
Yeah. So what's happening is on the...
I can see a cock on your head.
A cock on my head. Yeah.
Yeah.
So my video in the stream has disappeared. It's just the Skype logo, and I don't know why.
So basically, it depends on the view I have. If I have you on main screen, then your video is working. But if you're just, even if you're talking,
yes,
just in the corner, then it's back to your icon again.
Oh.
It's the same with Oleg.
Okay, let me see if I can fix this. Damn, Daniel. So yeah, I think Microsoft should start paying us for testing, testing their.
Come on, man. Let's
their
get this new Teams going.
So talking about Teams, hey, there's one feature. Oh God, it's still the flippin' Skype logo. There's one feature that I'm really missing in the desktop version of Teams, but you have the ability to do it on the mobile app, and that is to reply to a specific message.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've noticed this, guys. You know, like on WhatsApp, if you swipe to the right, you can reply to a particular message. So you're having a conversation with someone, they make 3 points, you want to comment or reply to the first one. You swipe left or right or whatever it is, and then you can, it like makes it as a reply. You can do that on the Teams app on the mobile, but you cannot do that in the desktop version. That's crazy, yeah? And I mean, it's like such
really weird.
I mean, you think about on a business level, you're having a conversation with someone, and the person's saying to you, what about this, and what about this? And now you want to reply to the first one. I mean, you've got to copy and paste the original question and then put it into quotes so that it sees it as, geez, what a joke, eh? What a joke.
You're right. You can't do that.
Yeah.
Just looking at it.
But I mean, you can do it on the mobile app.
Well, maybe it's because there's too many desktop things out there where it's not easy to develop something that swipes.
Oh, geez, dude. Come on. You just right-click, give an option there, reply. Don't you think? Isn't it as simple as that?
That might break something else, knowing Microsoft.
But I mean, dude, they've got the code because you can do it in Skype.
Can you?
Yes.
That you have the code.
I've never tried to do that.
Okay, guys.
Does you have the code?
It looks like I'm back. Back in black. Okay, good.
Well, there's no change on my side.
Yeah, no, it's
Hey,
fine.
you're not wearing a branded T-shirt today.
I know,
What's wrong with you?
I
This
know.
is like the first time ever. Have you not done washing this week? You actually make T-shirts. You have no excuse.
I know. I haven't decided what to put on this one yet. And besides, we can talk about weather. It's a little bit chilly here today. What's the temperature today? It's 8 degrees at the moment here in Johannesburg. So it's a little bit chilly.
But so you can still have a hoodie that's got a brand on it.
No, but my hoodies that's got branding on it's in the wash.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't realize in this lockdown state we are depraved. You can only have one hoodie.
No, man.
Are you just going to get to the point where all your clothes have a Bearded Fen on it?
No, I
it's a
don't
bit
want to,
like
but
your
that's the
mother
point. I
saying
don't
your
want to
name
get
into
to
the back
that
of your
point.
clothes when you were a kid.
No, I don't want to get to
Yeah,
that
if
point.
found, please return to
The Bearded Fen.
property of Bearded Fen.
Yeah. Oh. Okay. This is like getting too... Anyway, I've sorted the video out.
Well done.
Right.
All right.
So, Andrew,
Yes.
Andrew, can I ask you for some comments on the Xperia data leak?
I saw that come through during the week. I haven't seen
Yeah.
any detail on it. What? Because they were being very stum about which bank was.
I think it's
compromised.
everyone because I think it's all the banks
They said,
because
what did they say? 24 million people's banking details had been.
24.
Jeez, dude.
Yeah.
That's like
I think
almost half the country.
it's basically everyone that has a bank account.
Exactly. Yeah. So I wonder. But I mean, I wonder did they say what sort of information they'd got hold of?
Yeah, basically personal details, name, surname, ID numbers, addresses. You know,
Yeah, the whole
not
the
necessarily
whole FICA,
like
the whole FICA.
the whole FICA stuff. You
shit.
know.
And what do you think those people are going to do with that information?
They're gonna sell it, dude. Like, what do you think they're gonna do with it? They're gonna sell it.
Okay, and I mean, the people that they sell it to, what do you think they're going to do? Is like impersonate people, go open bank accounts in their names? What do you think they're going to do? Because I mean, theoretically,
get you like they can do quite a lot of stuff. They can also get you married to like
a Russian bride,
a couple of people.
RussianBrides.com. Oh.
No, like maybe that's in the UK case, but in our case, you're gonna have a Nigerian bride.
No, okay, let's talk about that. In reality, okay.
In reality,
how would they do that?
It's pretty easy, dude.
Okay, well, tell me.
It's really easy.
Tell me how
They'll
they would
Sounds
do it.
like he's done this.
Look, no. I haven't done this before, but when I put in my application for my citizenship at Home Affairs, right? What happened was I was very diligent about checking that application. So I would go into the Home Affairs offices in town every like month and a half to 2 months. And I would actually speak to the guys and say, how's the application going? What has been done? And, you know, because they haven't been like, it takes them 6 months or 8 months to transfer a piece of paper from one office to another. So
in a secure envelope.
In a secure envelope, yeah. So like after about 6 or 7 months, the guy said that your application actually came back from Pretoria because you requested that the application is modified and you had a dependent on the application. And I'm like, I haven't done that. Like, can I see it? So the guy brings me my application. And there's somebody else, there's a lady added to my application as my spouse. I can guarantee you it's somebody that I've never met before.
Right.
And I most likely know. Yeah,
so you stick to that story, Oleg. You stick to that story.
Yeah. And I explained to the guys, like, no, dude, like, I haven't done it. And he says, like, well, look, we need to launch an internal investigation. God. And you need to basically stop this application from proceeding, right? Because otherwise it's just going to take you longer and put in a new one. So that's what I did.
Wow.
So think about it this way. Think about it this way. If you have all the details, right? All your details that's required. So your name, your date of birth, your ID number, your contact details, they can literally basically get you married.
Yeah. But I mean, but then the weakness in the system is not the fact that the people have your information. It's the fact that the institution that they try and use that information at don't have sufficient checks in place to verify that the person that's got their information is actually the real person. Because what you're saying is something has happened internally in Home Affairs where someone on the inside has added you to that. Now, just remember, they've got access to all of that information already, regardless of whether the information had been compromised at a bank and then sold on to another third party. Because theoretically, if their system is working correctly, if you go to Home Affairs and you want to do something, you have to be able to prove that, okay, I am who I am. I've got my old ID book, I've got my birth certificate, whatever. Right. So, you know, what I'm saying is, like, if the information has been compromised, like the banking information has been leaked, okay? And you ask yourself, what can they do with that information? If when they go and try and use that information somewhere, if that institution has the right checks in place, there should be no risk, in my opinion. So, like, if I go to the bank and I've got someone else's ID number and I want to open a bank account in their name, the bank's going to ask me, okay, they want my proof of residency, my proof of address, and they want my ID book. So then the only way that I'd be able to get around that, if I had someone else's information, I was trying to impersonate them, is that I would have to have an ID document that said that I was that person. So that means I have to forge the ID document, whether it be an ID book or an ID card. Okay? Now, there should be checks on that ID card that allows an institution like the bank to verify that it's not a forged document. So, I mean, you know, I always wonder about people's concern about personal information being leaked out. I mean, is it the problem that the information is being leaked out, or is it because the places that they will use that information at don't have enough controls in place to verify the person's identity?
I think the weakness lies in the online platforms, like, to the large extent, and these I don't know whether they're still big, these retail shopping accounts, etc., where you can basically open up the retail shopping account. I mean, when you open up a retail shopping account, let's say at Edgar's, I'm not even sure if Edgar's is still around, but, like, I'm going to use Edgar's as an example, right? So, like, they will require your ID and stuff like that, but, like, they're not going to do any, like, thorough checks on it. So, like, you're going to take the stuff at the face value, even if you provide forged documents.
So on some of these banking websites, like, you can go and check to see if you let's say, for instance, you wanted to take a personal loan, right? And you go there and they will going to give you a quote on, like, what your interest rate is going to be over for the value of the amount that you want to borrow over the period that you want to borrow the money, right? They then have these checks in place where they ask you, so have you ever, like, phoned into a bank or a cell phone company or whatever, and you're trying to update your account or whatever, and then they say, okay, we're going to ask you some questions and you must answer them. And they don't know what the answer is. The only thing they know is whether the result comes out correctly. So they'll ask you, say, like, 4 questions. And they'll say, have you ever lived at this address? And they'll, on their screen, they're like 4 or 5 addresses, and they've got to select one. So they'll read the addresses out to you, and you say, okay, now I've lived at that address. And they select it. And they go through that process, and at the end of the process, it will tell them whether you've been correctly verified. Okay? So, I mean, those are the kind of checks and balances that need to be in place, is that only information that you would know that can be answered. So, like, for instance, what was I doing the other day? I think I was updating my insurance.
Right,
and they went through that. They
no,
process.
No, D, don't put it there, because I need to get up. D, this is cruel.
I had one that, you know, the security questions they asked me. Well, what was the name of your first pet? And I actually got it wrong. I actually forgot about my first pet because I was so young. I don't relate it as the first pet.
Yeah. But, like,
so when they come to ask me, and I can't remember, oh gee, which name did I give now? Because I've given this first pet answer to so many institutions. I'm like, is it the first one or the real first one? And, like, sorry, no, you got it wrong. You know, we need to terminate this call. Oh, come on, I just want to do something.
Yeah. So, I mean, those are the ways that you can verify that the person is who they actually are, is by asking them those kind of questions. And all these institutions have got, and I mean, this is the scary part, just to put it, because I mean, if this information was the one that got leaked, there would be a problem. Because there is some system that they're tapping into that's got your whole history of like what your previous cell phone numbers were, where you lived, all your addresses that you've lived at, all the accounts that you've had, whether it be Edgar's or this or, all these kind of things. And I mean, sometimes I'm actually shocked at the questions that they ask me. And I'll be like, what? You actually know that I lived at that?
No, I used to turn on.
What is the most shocking question that they asked you?
I used to ask them, where were you born? Yeah. You want to know where I'm born? Where were you born? Yeah, two can play this game. The most shocking question. So, I don't know.
The most... this is where when I was upgrading my cell phone, this is when they were asking me all these questions. Like, I asked me... Have you ever been a director of Every Desk PCs?
Yeah.
Now, yes, I have, because I used to have a CC called Every Desk PCs. And then he asked me, in what year was it established? And it was 1999. So...
I was going to say 99. No, but how would he... So you're saying that you've not shared this information before?
Well, no, it's the first time.
Maybe they've got it as a credit check that they've gone off and found this.
Well,
no, it's linked to the Cipro website.
Yeah, so they've connected, and I mean, they were also asking me questions. Have you ever lived at this address? And it was some old address that I lived at in Witbank.
Yeah.
Have you ever had, what accounts do you have? Do you have one of these accounts, Morkel's, Furniture City, or whatever? And like
Edgar's, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, most of the country had an Edgar's card, right? So it's not hard.
No. But they asked me They asked me if I had accounts at places I've never had accounts. So I just said no, none of those.
Yeah. Okay.
None of those. Yeah.
Interesting. It's not that sophisticated on this side of the world. We have to give them predefined questions and answers.
Oh, up front.
So the only time they're going to have more info is if there is some sort of credit check that needed to have been done, and then your whole history comes out from credit check agencies.
And I mean, how safe do you think it is with this whole thing of, sending you an OTP, a one-time password to your cell phone?
Well, that's two-factor. If it's used for two-factor authentication, then fine. But if it's single, no.
Yeah, because I heard something the other day that they've got this scam that's happening at the moment. And you get a call from someone who says they're phoning from your cell phone company, and then they will, they spin you some story that you need to punch in these numbers to fix the problem or whatever it is. But actually what you're doing is you going through those, like where you can manage your cell phone account by sending it these codes, like you go hash 147 hash star or whatever it is, or star 147 star hash. And then actually what you're doing is you're doing a SIM swap. And then what they're doing is they then cloning your SIM card, right? So that when you get an OTP, they're getting the OTP to the SIM card that you've just swapped.
No, I don't like that. There's got to be a better way.
Yeah, well, don't punch any numbers into your phone that you don't know what you're doing, if you know what I mean.
But there's loads of stuff I get through, not just emails anymore. It's text messages, SMSs.
Yes.
Proper phishing. Your Facebook account has been hacked. Please click this link to check your security settings. And as a text, it looks something completely viable. Yeah. And it may be true, but it's so easy just to go, oh shit, click the link, bang, done.
Yeah. So I think there's a certain generation of us that are pretty savvy or pretty aware of these kind of phishing things and understand that that you would never get contacted in that way. But I would imagine like older people, the older generation, the people that didn't grow up in this sort of digital world and this like sort of social engineering sort of thing, that they would think that, they've got this sort of like trust that they have with the institutions that they've always banked with or whatever, and they would get a message.
Yeah, you're right. It's a level of trust.
Yeah, it's a level of
so
trust.
They see the logo, they think it's fine.
Yeah.
My mother's been scammed, and fortunately she cottoned on.
Yes.
But she was on board. But something just penny clicked, and she's not expecting it. We've drilled it into her for years, going, this stuff is happening all the time. The older generation have been defrauded. It's happening all the time everywhere.
Yeah.
Just be careful. And they have tested her, and she's come out okay.
Yeah.
But it's still going on. They are far more sophisticated. I mean, the one was a woman pretending to phone from the bank. Coincidentally, my mother was having some challenges with a bank account and a PIN number, and they phoned her. And it was a nice, polite, local voice on the phone. Hello there. How are you today? Yes, I'm just phoning from the bank. And then straight away, she's like, oh, thank goodness, the bank's phoning me. This is good service.
Yes.
And then then the script flows, and then it's something, when you start having to give her out details, then she clicks on. But she was instantly grabbed because of the sound of the voice, and it was polite. And maybe we've got this thing that online criminals are evil and they don't speak English properly and they have heavy accent, and all these stereotypes are being
heavy Russian accent
pushed forward. I wasn't going to say that, but I'm thinking more Ukraine or Georgia or Belarus So but you don't expect it. So the stereotypes aren't setting off alarm bells. You're going to get sucked in.
Yeah, but I mean, it's quite funny if that lady that phones from the bank with that soft voice and whatever, it's like you think like who is paying her to do that scam? Because I mean, like you're saying, is that you would expect it would be a particular stereotype kind of thing. It's like this.
But now you're getting into stereotypes. How do you know it's not her racket?
Well,
this is a student who's cottoned onto all of this, going, hey, we should try it. Let's see how it goes.
Absolutely.
And she's made her first $1 million in a month. Well, yeah,
I think that's the power of social engineering, is the fact that of our unconscious biases towards these kind of situations, is that we have these like little check boxes in our brain that tell us whether this is legitimate or not, and what are we using to determine that. Like someone that phones with the soft-spoken voice, we immediately think, okay, well, this must be genuine because they don't sound like a criminal, kind of thing. Yeah. And I suppose that's what you do with social engineering, is that you find what those aspects are that people would use to determine whether something is legit or not, and prey on that. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's always the vulnerable who are going to get targeted.
Yeah, absolutely.
But when the volume of phishing that happens on my phones and all the devices I use, all the different mail accounts, one of these days I'm going to slip up because I have such volume to get through. I just quite often click, delete. My reactions are quick, right?
Yeah.
I haven't got time for this. One of these days I am going to accidentally click a link.
Exactly.
Because I'm not focusing on it.
Yeah.
You think so?
Yeah. They're very well. I mean, some of the phishing emails I get through, I look at it and go, if it wasn't for that one spelling mistake, I would have bought into this. I mean, it didn't have any dodgy email addresses, or, if the links actually look fine.
Yes.
It's weird.
Yeah, no, you're right. Look, I mean, I've got...
They're getting better.
A couple of like sort of emails that have come from a banking institution. And if you look at the email, like you say, I mean, everything looks legit. But there's just one small little thing that tips the scale, Yeah.
And they're getting better. So those little things we won't pick up on. But yes. But then we're going to stop reading email at some point. So...
geez, information
I think you're more likely to
overload,
be hacked from a phone or an app.
Information overload is really, I mean...
So what firewall or antivirus do you have on your phone?
None.
Only?
No, I'm a lot more organized, guys. So on my personal PC,
No, on your phone, dude. I'm
not talking about PCs. I'm just talking about
on
phone.
your phone.
I'm using Sophos.
On your phone.
On your phone.
Yeah, on my phone. I don't know if you heard of the antivirus. They're actually pretty big. They're pretty good as well.
Yeah.
No, I mean it's a common thing, right? So you think antivirus for computers, you automatically think desktop, laptop. Pretty for the phone, and I don't know why.
No, the phone antivirus market is actually pretty big. So like most of the like antivirus vendors and firewall vendors, they cover the whole lot. So
no, their products are out there. I'm not saying that they're not.
Yeah.
There's no products out there. It's just if you go to your teenage daughter and say, "What's your antivirus on the phone? How do you protect yourself from people hacking your phone?" When you go to the older generation, same thing. They're not going to have anything.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, I do public transport and airports a lot, and quite often I go and have a look at whose phones I can actually see from my phone in my immediate vicinity, and how many of them are locked.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's not hard.
Exactly.
It's not hard.
So, I mean, here's a little thing that my kids do sometimes is when they in a public place, they start airdropping photos to other people's phones.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Sorry, that's not funny. That's bad.
No, well, I mean, it's like, it's like in the good old day when we were doing telephone pranking or whatever. You dial some number, play some dodgy song or something like that, or whatever. I suppose that's the sort of modern day equivalent of kids just having just being naughty and having fun, I suppose. But I mean, that's the thing, is that they can go into a public place and they can airdrop photos to other people's phones because they're, like their settings aren't such that you need to verify before accepting the photo, kind of thing. Yeah. Anyway.
That's scary, dude. That's scary.
Yeah.
That would scare me if I actually got an airdrop come up on my phone and it was a picture of me
sitting drinking coffee, and then like there's a small writing, "We are watching you."
So I saw this thing. Exactly. I saw this thing on TikTok. I don't know if it's a setup or a prank or whatever, but it's like the title is how to get Siri to ask the girl next to you out on a date, right? So the guy does it. He says, "Hey Siri, how do I ask the girl next to me out on a date?" And then Siri says, "I'm sorry, I can't help you with that at the moment, but would you like me to call her?" And then he says yes.
Whoa.
And the girl next door to him, her phone starts ringing. And then he does it several times.
No way.
It's got to be staged.
That is scary.
So I'm assuming it's staged, but...
well, let's try it.
But I suppose the person has to be...
I've been arrested,
no,
right?
but I mean, the person has to be...
I'm going to go try it.
In close proximity to you, I would imagine. So I'll test it out this weekend.
I would say within Bluetooth range.
Yeah, Bluetooth range.
Because I got to narrow it down somehow. Yeah,
Bluetooth range. So I'll get my daughters to test it because they both.
I know that like Bixby is not that sophisticated. Don't expect that level of intelligence from Bixby.
Let's try Bixby. Hey Bixby. Oh, hi Bixby. How do I ask the girl next door to me out on a date?
Here's what I found on the internet.
That's what you're gonna.
It says how to start dating the girl next door. The art of charm. So I'll test it. No, I think it's just a setup on that TikTok video. I don't think it's real. Because I mean, imagine that because essentially what's happened there is that the two phones know that like you said, Bluetooth in proximity, and somehow that person the one phone has got the other phone's phone number and is then calling it. I mean, that's pretty that's pretty risky.
That's scary. That's scary stuff.
Anyway, so what you guys up to this weekend? Besides hiking?
I'm gonna have to do some DIY around the house today, and then tomorrow. Today I'm also gonna try not to do any work. I'm gonna make a concerted effort not to, and then tomorrow I'm going for a hike early in the morning, like at 7 o'clock.
And where are you going to? Have you decided?
Yeah, it's a farm in Pretoria.
Okay,
I'll
cool.
tell you now what the name of the place.
And Lester, what are you up to, buddy?
Skype just dropped me again, by the way.
Oh, we didn't even notice. We're so used to it now.
Yeah, no. I've got actually my best, and I'm going to jinx it by saying it, I've got my best latency in months.
Oh, really?
Best connections in months. And yeah.
Yeah, so you've only dropped out 3 times today instead of 10. It's a good day.
Well, normally those 10 are about, 10 minutes each.
Yeah.
I could go on vacation.
Or like your video's frozen for the whole episode. Without you even knowing it. Yeah, just stay there. I want to get that photo.
Yeah, just like...
So what you up to? Have you been playing any golf recently?
I wouldn't call it golf anymore. It's now just smashing the crap out of something.
Oh, right.
Whether it's my golf bag or the grass or opponents, I don't. Yeah. No, I go out as much as I can. This is my one way of getting out the house. It's not a spectacle of sport by any stretch of the imagination, but it's just meeting up with some mates and getting out in the sunshine.
Yeah, good man.
Because we're going to be hitting rainy season, the 6-month rainy season soon, and I won't be outdoors at all.
Yeah, I mean, have you been to
mental
the pub?
well-being?
Have you been to the pub recently?
Well, there's been some changes. I don't know what it was, but so now we've more things have opened up, like beauty salons and gyms and swimming lanes and public swimming pool, etc. You can now go more to museums. No, what was it? Cinemas have got different regulations now.
Yeah.
Anyway, long story short. So at the pub, you go in, you give your details, you follow the arrows on the floor, you get your drink, you order your drink, you collect your drink, and you go and social distance everywhere. And there's no sports, there's no live music or anything like that. All right. Last weekend, suddenly there's a pool table and slot machines.
Really?
And something's changed. You can now play pool. And I'm like, there's nothing that's actually changed. There's no cleaning of these pool cues, these tables, these slot machines.
Yeah.
But it just seems we've opened it up.
No.
Okay.
So, talking about cinemas, here in South Africa, over a month ago, they said cinemas could open up again, but I think they're only opening up on the 28th of August, which is next week.
I think ours open.
Yeah.
But it was limited viewings, reruns of old movies, and obviously social distancing. So you're 10 miles from everywhere else. Oh, World Snooker Championships. There's something to talk about.
Oh, right. Okay.
So it's the World Snooker Championships in Sheffield every year.
Right.
And it's a big event. And it's well televised and all these things. So historically, there's always a crowd. And the crowd gets behind the snooker players. But because we have no spectator sports, the sports are now in big empty arenas. The same with the snooker on TV. So there was a guy who was pushing a button every time there was normally the crowd would applaud. So he had a sound effect button that he pushed. And you could see these guys just chuckling to themselves because this is a lot of rubbish.
Something like this.
But on the last day, something changed. Yeah. Okay, that's been.
Oh, that's awesome.
Snooker. I mean, that's just what I have on as my walk-on music.
What is that when you're doing stand-up
No,
comedy?
but they had something. So the tournament runs for 2 weeks. This snooker thing, and on the last day, the final, which is actually over 2 days, they were allowed to bring in a restricted audience. So now these empty seats suddenly were dotted with people. And it was like the first time we'd seen a spectator sport with people dotted around.
Oh, wow.
And it's like, oh, everyone was watching this going, quick, turn to channel whatever on the TV. Look at that. There's people. there's live clapping.
Yeah.
But it was half empty studio, or stadium.
Yeah.
So it still is a bit
weird. Yeah, a bit weird. Yeah. So, I mean, have you been into the pub recently, though?
Yeah, I went last weekend.
Yeah, and I mean, what's the social distancing? Because remember, you said the last time that you'd been in there, like, social distancing went out the window.
Well, there's a few things happening. And it depends on where you go. If it's your local where everybody knows you, you sign your name, you forget about the arrows on the floor, everyone clusters around. Especially if it's raining, all the smokers tend to hover in the same corner that's got the cover.
Yeah.
But I would even say that the staff who were using full face PPE and all of that all that PPE is now getting dented, and they're sick and tired of wearing it because it's hot and sweaty, and so the staff are stopping to wear protective gear.
Yeah.
Everyone's kind of just ignoring the rules. Now, we're supposed to wear face covering in any shop we go to.
Yes.
But pub is not classified in the same way. And I'm like, that just doesn't make sense. But then you can't drink with a face mask.
Yeah, true.
So they brought this in, 2 or 3 weeks ago? I can't remember. So everywhere you go, you have to wear a mask. And which is, fine. People are tired of that already. I went to get a takeaway last night where you're supposed to go in with a mask on, place your order, and you go and stand outside, and they call you in when it's ready.
Okay. Right. Oh, yeah, because you guys don't have Uber Eats.
Not where I am, no. This is the country way of doing things.
So Lester, how remote are you? Are you deep in the country?
I'm just in the countryside.
Okay.
What am I? 40k south of London.
Okay.
It's not far.
But you're not like on a farm property where you have like
No.
like sheep grazing outside, and
no, I'm surrounded by farm fields. My village is there's about 2,500-3,000 people in my village. Or my town. More a town now.
Mm-hmm.
It's just, there's lots of pockets of towns that are close, or villages that are close to each other.
Yeah.
So there's nothing.
But it's pretty low key, right? It's like everyone knows everyone type of thing, right?
It depends where you are.
Okay.
In this town, I know a lot of people, but I have been here for a long time.
So how long?
And if you're in a small village, then typically you would know everything that goes on. But if you're more in a city, you wouldn't know what your neighbor's name is.
Yeah.
So how long have you been there now, listener?
Too long. 14 years in this house.
Nice. Jeez, that's a long time. Dude.
14 years. 14 years.
Yeah, we were talking about it, how much we've fixed this house up.
Yeah.
It doesn't look anything like when we bought it.
Right. Yeah. And have you sorted all your electrical and leaking problems out now?
I don't talk about them because they jinx things.
Cool. We won't talk about that.
Okay.
Anyway, guys, I see we've gone past our 1 hour. I unfortunately have got some commitments, so I'm gonna have to.
Well, happy National Tooth Fairy Day anyway. If you do lose a tooth today, the Tooth Fairy would be happy.
Yeah, I see. It's also Be an Angel Day, so you guys just be angels today, okay?
No.
My wings.
I don't want to be an angel. I don't want to be an angel.
So what would you want to be?
Yeah, my angel days are behind me, man. I'm not doing that again.
Yeah.
Shit.
Dark angel. Yeah.
So what is what's other than being a tooth fairy and dodgy angel day?
Dodgy angel.
Yeah.
Dodgy angel sounds better.
Yeah.
So what's on for tomorrow?
It doesn't say what type of angel.
Let's see what's on for tomorrow. Tomorrow is Cuban Sandwich Day and Ride the Wind.
Cuban Sandwich.
Ride the Wind and Sponge Cake Day. So, because I checked out what all international things were happening, or that you could celebrate last Sunday. Last Sunday was the Roller Coaster Day, Rum Day, World Bratwurst Day, Airborne Day, and Surveillance Day. A lot was happening last Sunday.
That is so cool. That is so cool. That is like all at once.
You could do all of those.
You
things
could
in
actually
one go,
combine
yes.
all of those in one
Yeah,
day.
exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, so I don't know.
But dude, like, keep us posted, like, on how your test goes with Siri. That would be really interesting.
Yeah, I'm gonna test it out.
Yeah.
Don't forget to ask what 100 is in Welsh.
I will test that too. Yes. And I don't know. Yeah. Anyway, okay. I was gonna go somewhere. I'm not gonna go there. Anyway.
Don't go there.
Yeah.
Don't go there.
All right, guys.
Cool. Anyway, let me close out the show in a professional way for a change. What do you reckon?
Yeah.
Whoa.
Sound
No,
effects.
I'm just going
sound
to
effect.
do a nice
You're gonna do
transition.
sound effects.
Play some music, and say, guys, I'll catch you next week.